to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
Congratulations on making it to the final three.
Thank you very much.
So going in, did you think you had a shot at winning?
Absolutely. I thought from the very beginning I would win this game. I'm super competitive. There was no stopping me, and I feel like that, it's always that you got to start with the thought and the vision and dream it and dream big, and then you go for it. And so that's how I started, and that's how I intended to finish.
And so you were very positive at that final tribal council until Reed stood up and talked. Were you surprised by his reaction and words toward you?
I wasn't surprised that Reed wanted to target me. I was a little shocked and felt like what he said was uncalled for. I feel like that, Reed's a performer. He's on Broadway. It was his big chance to shine. He probably rehearsed that umpteen times before he got to do it. And so, it was totally uncalled for. I do have to say, though, that I think Reed's very human, and I think he is a genuine guy. I think that his game was out of his control. For an uber Survivor fan like he is, I think he was just devastated. He didn't get as far as he wanted to. So, but the attack was completely uncalled for.
And tonight, Jeff offered him the opportunity to apologize, and he didn't. How do you feel about that?
You know what? It's totally not out of character. I think he believes that he did the right thing. There's nothing wrong with what he did. And of course, with having fans, yay, go Reed, he's not going to see it. And you know what? Maybe someday, I'm one of those people that says what comes around goes around. So I feel like that at some point in his life, maybe somebody else will come along and I don't know if they'll call him the wicked stepmother, but I feel like that you get a sting in your life like that and you don't forget it. So if I did anything in my life to anyone in my past that would have brought about that kind of pain, I don't ever want to be in those shoes, And so so hopefully maybe that'll happen to Reed.
And you were very protective of Baylor when he targeted her with the word brat. I will say, when I interviewed the majority of the other ejected castaways throughout the season, a lot of them weren't very positive about Baylor and didn't have very nice things to say. How does that make you feel?
Well, I'm her mom. In my eyes, Baylor's a champion, but I'm also realistic. And it's like you forget how young she is. She's 20. And so I wanted to say, okay, guys, guess what? We have a kid on board. Don't go be so hard on her. But at the same time, can Baylor be a brat? Sure. Can any kid be a brat? Absolutely. Is it Baylor's world and we all live in it? Sometimes, sure. But you're not going to get to call her that. Let me call her that. Let me discipline my kid. Don't go after her. Whatever. She made it further than a lot of people in this game. So did I carry her quite a bit? Yes. But at the same token, I'm very proud of her. And other people calling her bad names doesn't feel good.
For strategy's sake, would you ever have seen yourself voting against her?
No. As a matter of fact, I was trying to figure out a way, even when she volunteered to jump into the jury for my sake, I was trying to figure out a way not to write her name down, making sure we had enough votes to not have to do that.
Now, we saw you struggle with voting against John. When that plan was forming to get rid of John, how difficult was that for you? Because you were very loyal to him.
Well, I was very loyal. I figured out a way, again, not to have to vote him off. So we had a fireside chat, me and my two daughters, my Natalie, Survivor daughter, and then Baylor. And, once Natalie helped me sort of understand some of the conversations they had behind my back, which were, he doesn't trust you. He's not fully on board with you, but you are with him. So remember that, it has to be a two-way street. And my deal from the beginning was, if someone said, well, I don't trust her, then it was like, all right, vote him off. And I think that they didn't show, I did have a lot more control in that game than what was shown, which is fine. But, it was tough. And so I had to create a way to vote him off without compromising my integrity.
Does Natalie deserve to win?
Absolutely. Natalie deserves to win this, hands down. If you'd asked me at about day 27, 28, I would have said I'm still going to win. Then you fast forward to, I got just so depleted. I was giving my food away. There was a shot where they showed me just crying before we started a challenge. I was just toast. And then when I hurt my ankle, it was the demise of my game. It's so frustrating not to be able to physically do challenges, but also I'm not very good at asking for help. And so, I just felt so out of control. That was just awful.
So what happened with your ankle exactly?
So it really became that it was a level 3 sprain, but that means that there was some stuff torn a little bit on the front of my ankle. It's still in recovery. I am not totally up to par yet, but it'll be okay. It's just I'm a runner, and it drives me crazy because I don't get to run yet.
And was it actually a real possibility you were going to have to leave the game?
I mean, I was nervous but let me tell you something. If I was going to leave that game, it was going to be their choice, and they were going to have to drag me out because I was finishing. I mean, that finish line was so in sight. There was no way that if I was given the option, I was leaving the game.
So what's next for you? Would you ever do this again?
Absolutely, I would do it again. You know, I feel like that right now for me, Survivor changed my life so much for the better, and I would love to use this experience to positively affect other people, you know, and on different levels. I don't know what that looks like yet. Maybe a book, maybe a talk show, I don't know. But going back on and doing another experience like this, just for me to be portrayed as this very strong single woman who who can press on and move on in life even when I've made bad decisions. That's really what it's all about.
All right, and last question for you. What was your final 3, your dream pick for final 3?
Ooh, dream pick. Well, for a while it was John, Natalie, Missy. I would have said, for a while, I would have said Keith, Natalie, Missy. But Keith would have won. Any guy that got up there would have won. It was such a bonded group of men. It was like a fraternity house. So, I don't know. I mean, quite frankly, I think it worked out the way it was supposed to work out.
But neither of those included your daughter.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is that everybody knows that if Baylor and I have ended up in the final 3, though it would have been great, would have been in the history books, yay, rah, for gameplay, that wasn't smart. I had to have a vote, or she had to have a vote, whatever. It wouldn't have worked. That when you can secure at least a vote on the jury, that's pretty comforting. Nobody else goes into Survivor Final 3 knowing someone's going to vote for them.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time. It was nice to meet you.